All right, last week was a very critical week in the life of every Biafran. From the issue of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to the issue of the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko, which actually was a matter that everybody was actually looking out for. Now, Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoko was in court in Finland, and a lot of reactions have come up. Now, the video showing is a video of Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoko in court. Now, so many reactions, so many misreactions has actually come up in the issue of Mazen Simon Ekpa. But the reality is that despite the fact that critics will always talk, but the issue is that what is the whole case all about? Why is Finland fighting Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoko, with the zoo government, who have been doing everything possible to make sure that they silence the voice of Biafran heroes, in their illegal ways of, doing their judgment. They were able, to extradite the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And now, Simon Ekpa is their major issue. Now, what really happened in court? Now, let us go straight up to the issue of what really transpired. Now, this is a kind of recap for those who are still lost in this whole shenanigan happening, within the Biafran structure. Now, talking about the terrorism trial, we started last week. The prosecution is demanding a 6-year prison sentence for Simon Ekpa on terrorism-related charges. Why? Remember, I made it clear that the case of Simon Ekpa has nothing to do with terrorism directly. But the thing there is that they are finding every way to link Mazen Simon Ekpa to terrorism. This is where they can actually have a longer stay for Simon Ekpa. This is where they can have a more critical punishment for Simon Ekpa. That has actually been their plan. And that is why they have come out in mass, both the so-called people who claim, in quote, who claim that they are fighting for the freedom of Biafra are still the ones who are writing petition and still fighting Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoko. But to what end? That is the big question. Now, the prosecution is demanding a 6-year prison sentence for Simon Ekpa. That shows that the case is not even as strong as we all thought it was. Because if truly terrorism was the major thing, now definitely it will be a life sentence. Definitely Simon Ekpa will be going for, he will be in prison for life. And that is a reality. Now, Simon Ekpa, a former local councillor from Lati, appeared before the Payet Hamid District Court on Friday to face the terrorism-related charges in a preparatory hearing. It was actually a very powerful one at that. Now, Èkpá is accused of participating in a terrorist organization and publicly inciting crimes for terrorist purposes. How true is this? Let us still continue with the case and how it actually, unfolded. Now, the prosecutors allege that he has been actively involved in a separatist movement seeking independence for the so-called Biafran region in southern Nigeria. This is how they, called it. This is how the statement was. Now, the big question is, what is bad? What is evil for a separatist movement seeking for the independence of their people, the freedom of their people, especially people who are being subjugated to a lot of suffering, people who are going through a lot of ordeal by the terrorist zoo army. We've seen a lot of massacres. We've seen a lot of ill treatment. We've seen a lot of marginalization, in quote, of these people. So what is bad, if someone decide to come out to defend and say, no, we are tired of this art by these people. We want to create our own state and we want to do it in the right way. Now, still speaking on how the whole court case went. Now, the prosecution also argued that the activity conducted online and coordinated from Finland may constitute terrorism under Finnish law. Now, I wanted to check Google to find out Finnish law on terrorism. I wanted to understand how their law works in Finland, but I think it's gonna take a longer time, for me to find out and bring it out. Maybe in the next video I'll be dropping, I'll give a full law, the full hearing of the law of the Finland, how their law go under the Terrorism Act. But that aside, the prosecutors are also demanding a 6 years prison sentence for Èkpá. Now, in their statement, which I'll be reading out now, they said, "We have a great deal of evidence regarding these individuals' online activity and communication," said State Prosecutor Samsa Hakala. The prosecution, however, acknowledged that obtaining detailed information about the alleged terrorism-related acts is difficult, as they are believed to have taken place in Africa. Now, why are you actually concerned about this? Now, during the pre-trial hearing on Friday, Èkpá's lawyer, Caligumeres, also raised concerns about the reliability of information coming from the Nigeria government. The Finnish police have investigated the case together with Nigerian authorities. During police interview, Simon Èkpá denied the charge, which also included suspicions of ordering weapons from pro-Biafran group. The district court is also examining allegation of aggravated tax fraud. In fact, this is their issue. You see, this aggravated tax fraud, this is what Finland is actually interested in. And I'm going to tell you, forget about these whole controversies and this whole lie you're seeing on the internet that Finland is trying to bring Simon Èkpá down because of terrorism-related charges. It is a lie. Their major interest is in the aggravated tax fraud. Go and mark that word, that particular phrase. Aggravated tax fraud. This is their interest because they want to get Simon Èkpá to pay for tax in court. This is their issue. They've seen the activities and the inflow of currencies. When they organize this, their online fundraising, they generate a lot of funds. Biafrans all over the world, try as much as possible to support the struggle. And they've seen the kind of inflows of money coming in. And Finland feel that they can actually get a chunk of this money. And this is why they've actually brought in the issue of aggravated tax fraud. This is their main interest. You might think otherwise. You can go to the comment section and tell me your own thought on this. But their major interest is the aggravated tax fraud. Now, it is shameful that Finland is actually participating in this kind of act for a country that fought for the freedom of their people, and they got it. Is now a country that is making sure that they frustrate Biafran from getting this freedom. But one thing we'll keep on saying is that we'll keep on standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We keep standing with Simon Èkpá Njoko to the end. Despite everything said and done by the Zoo government, they are not going to get away with it. On that note, thank you once again for joining us on this wonderful YouTube platform. Let us go into, the deeper issue that is happening in Finland, because the Finnish president, the Finland president, is actually in deep trouble as a result of an act he committed concerning the issue of Mazi Simon Èkpá Njoko. Please enjoy this and make sure you share it.
As of today being the 17th of May of 2025, a lot of interesting info and a lot of interesting activities has played out in Finland regarding Mr. Simon, a man held in Kilamakoski Correctional Center. As we speak, the government of Finland and the Päijät-Häme district courts are currently in panic and in full confusion. So the question here is, why is the government of Finland totally confused about Simon's case at this point in time? Well, in our previous video, we made mention of the fact that the president of Finland traveled to Tanzania to attend a particular conference or a meeting. In that meeting, a top individual in Africa, came out to criticize the government of Finland, stating categorically that the government detained Mr. Simon unjustly and illegally. This particular statement did not sit well with the president of Finland, and that is why after that conference in Tanzania, he called the National Bureau of Investigation. He also put a call across to the Päijät-Häme District Court asking them to publish a press statement. Yes. Interestingly, when the Päijät-Häme District Court, that is the court that will try Mr. Simon, received that call from the presidency in the person of Alexander Stubb, these guys rushed immediately. They went straight to a media house or a publication agency known as Yale, so as to render or tender an official statement regarding Simon's case. Well, showing right now on your screen is this statement made by the presidency through the Päijät-Häme District Court, published by Yale News Agency. It states, and I quote, "Lati municipal politician in the person of Simon charged with series of offenses." I can't particularly mention this offense showing right now on your screen because of YouTube terms of service. Yes, it also went a step further to claim that the lawsuit on Simon is a unique case. This is coming from their head prosecutor. Well, just in case you don't understand what is currently going on here, the president of Finland was heavily criticized in Tanzania because of Simon. He called the Päijät-Häme District Court to release a statement regarding Simon. These guys obeyed and they published this particular article showing right now on your screen. This article is saying that Simon's case, Simon will be charged to the Päijät-Häme District Court for sure for this offense highlighted on your screen right now. But then his case is a unique one. His case has never been seen in the country of Finland, and his case will need a lot of timing and trial. Yes. Just in case you don't believe me, and just in case you want to fact check the statement mentioned previously, showing right now on your screen is a statement coming from the DPM, the Deputy Prime Minister of the USP, in the person of Ngozi Orebowezi, where she stated that breaking update from Finland. The Finland government has decided to toe the criminal part of Nigeria government by charging PM Simon with public incitement to commit an offense. This report came in today, being the 16th of May of 2025, to the USP government. We will see how this frivolous charge will end between Finland, Nigeria, and the USP. Yes, like I said, this is coming from the DPM. You can go to our Twitter page right now and verify the information that will be shared in subsequent time. But then, the government of Finland did not even stop there. The president of Finland did not even stop there. He also listed the offenses Simon will be tried for. He listed the offenses Simon will be charged for in the coming months. Take a look at this. Pay attention to the highlighted part of your screen because we have a lot of info and intel domiciled in this particular post. It states, the Deputy Prosecutor General has decided to bring charges against Simon for public incitement to commit an offense with this particular sentence that I can't mention, and also participation in a terrorist group. Just in case you don't know, Simon is going to face 2 charges. Showing right now on your screen are these charges. You can pause this part of the video to read up and understand. But then there's a problem. There's a big problem. It feels like the government of Finland are scared at this particular point in time. It feels like the ICJ has placed a call to the government of Finland asking them to pay close attention to Simon's case. Why did I say so? Well, take a look at this publication showing right now on your screen where it states, in this trial, we will look at what has happened online and whether it fulfills the criteria of an offense. This is coming from the Deputy Prosecutor General in the person of Chuka Rape. It also went a step further to claim that, according to Rape, the court will investigate whether a person who has operated in information networks from Finland has been involved in these offenses. This man also went a step further to claim that this is a unique and a first case of its kind. Wow, this is a very interesting one. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to what is currently happening in Finland. The government of Finland, let me break things down for you to understand in very simple terms. The government of Finland wants to try Simon for 2 charges. Showing right now on your screen are 2 charges. But at the same time, they are not too sure. They are not too sure if this man actually committed these offenses. Showing right now on your screen. They are not too sure. They have never seen a case like this in their judicial settings, in their judicial precedent. They've never seen a case where somebody will live in their country and run some activities from their said country in another country's settings entirely. So the government are saying that we've investigated this man and we found that this man committed these two offenses, these two listed on your screen, but we don't know how to actually trial him. We don't know how to actually deal with his case. What are these guys trying to do at this point in time? Are they trying to send him to Nigeria using this particular loophole as a means to extradite him? Nobody knows for sure. But one thing we know is that Simon is doing something to counter all of the statements and all of the confusions happening in the Paijahame district court. Yes, so the question here is, what is Simon doing at this particular point in time? Well, we'll come back to that in a second, because we need to heavily analyze Simon's response, because it's going to change the way and manner things move from this particular point in time going forward. But then while making this video, we stumbled on an interesting news and updates coming out from the country of Uganda. This is not in relation to Mr. Simon or the US in any way, shape or form. This has to do with democracy on the African continent. So the question here is, what has happened in Uganda? Take a look at this publication where it states, Ugandan president's son threatens to banish citizens who vote against their father. Yes, just in case you don't understand, Uganda as a country will run its presidential elections by January of next year being 2026. And the son of Yoweri Museveni, who happens to be the current president of Uganda, has come out to warn every citizen of that country that if you vote against my father, my dad, I'm going to heavily banish you from this country. This doesn't make sense in any way, shape or form. This guy did not even stop there. He also went a step further to tell the Ugandan military force that from this day henceforth, going forward, all the females no longer has a right to put on trousers. Yes, for a better clarity, take a look at this publication where it states, he also announced a new policy banning female soldiers from wearing trousers. This is crazy. And if you want to even see the craziest part of this whole conversation, is the fact that his father, Museveni, has been the president of Uganda for over 35 years now. Showing right now on your screen is a detailed breakdown of this guy's administration. He came into power the 29th of January of 1986, and up to this particular point in time in 2025, this man, Museveni, is still the president of Uganda, and he happens to be the longest serving president of that country, serving over 35 years. This is massive. Yes, if you think Museveni's case is crazy, well, we also have other craziest leaders in Africa. Showing right now on your screen are the listing of the 5 longest serving presidents on this continent. We have, on number 1, we have Paul Biya of Cameroon. He has been in power for over 50 years. And we also have Teodoro Obiang, who served 45 years in power. As you can see, democracy in Africa isn't working, because how can a human, one person, be in power for over 50 years? Wow, that's half a century. It doesn't make sense in any way, shape or form. This simply shows that democracy in Africa isn't working, and we should probably look for a different administrative pattern that will favor or fit the African settings. Well, an individual known as Eli Twinyo wrote a book. He made a book regarding democracy in Africa. This is a book that every individual has to read and understand. In this book, he dissected the tenets of democracy and how it has come to fail, to everly fail on the African continent. Do well to check out this book if you love reading. Check out this book written by Eli Twinyo. It's a massive one, and you definitely get a lot of info from this book. Well, moving on swiftly, let's get back to Mr. Simon's case. Let's get back to his case. The government of the USB aren't too happy with the way and manner the president of Finland is currently operating Mr. Simon's case, and that is why they came out to make a press statement and a press release. Showing right now on your screen is a statement coming from the government of the USB, published 19 hours ago. Feel free to pause this particular point of this video to read up and understand, because these guys made serious points. They called out the leaders of the Finnish government, calling them out that, why will you treat one of your own like this? Why are you treating one of your own, a man who have served your country in the military form, in the civilian form, and as a politician? Why are you treating him in this particular way and manner? Feel free to pause this point of this video, read up and understand. Now let's go to the interesting part of this whole conversation. Yes, Mr. Simon, through his lawyer, the person of Carl Gumeres, has noticed that the Finnish authorities are currently confused on how to tackle his case. They are confused on how to trial him. They are confused on how to present his case to the Paijahame District Court. And that is why Simon, together with his lawyer, has done something that makes a lot of sense. What did Simon do, and how does it make sense? Well, take a look at this particular article showing right now on your screen, where it states that Simon, a former municipal politician from Lati, is charged with this offense. Okay? It went a step further to claim that the Deputy Prosecutor General has decided to bring charges against Simon for public incitement to crime and blah, blah, blah. We know all of this part already. But then Simon made a good point. He made a good difference for himself. This article also went a step further to claim that Simon has denied all of these charges. Yes, so as you can see, Simon is ready to plead not guilty. He has denied every single thing coming from the Paijahame District Court. This is a smart move because last week, a top lawyer in Finland, advised him to plead guilty to the charges leveled on him. But now Simon said he's not going to plead guilty, but instead plead not guilty. Why is this a smart move? Well, we all know that the Paijahame District Court and the Finnish police are yet to totally grasp and understand Simon's case. Yes, these guys made mention of the fact that they've never seen a case like this in their country. They've never seen an offense like this in their country. They don't even know how to trial him. And for Simon to plead not guilty, he has made it very difficult for the Paijahame District Court to tender a ruling. He has made it very difficult for them to pass a judgment because they have to go far and beyond. They have to probably rewrite their laws and constitution regarding case of incitement, because as we speak, Finland doesn't have any particular sentencing for incitement. This eventually happens to be an intelligent move coming from Simon and his legal counsel team. Yes, they are pleading not guilty. They will go to the courtroom with the claims of, see, we are not guilty. We don't know what we are talking about. We have no linkage to any form of incitement or any form of group. We don't know anything about it, and we have no hands in anything you're presenting in the courtroom. Yes, but as we speak, as Simon is trying to defend himself in the court of law, something interesting has played out in the USA. The president of that country has appointed a USB citizen into his political cabinet. This is a big one, and this played out yesterday. The USB citizen has been appointed into US security structure. The question here is, who is this individual and why was she appointed? Well, if you want to get full info and a better understanding of this particular case, we have a video showing right now on your screen, so do well to click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this particular video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.